Mr. Potato is one of the most mysterious characters in Peppa Pig. While almost everyone is an animal, he's a walking vegetable and no one questions it. But what if we told you that Mr. Potato is actually a person in disguise, hiding his real face? Human. If Mr. Potato's vegetable body is really just a costume, then he could be anyone. Even so, if we think about the reasons why he might want to hide his face, the list of who Mr. Potato could truly be shrinks drastically, and one of the possibilities that makes the most sense is that he's a human. The history of humanity is one of the biggest mysteries in Peppa Pig. We've only seen a few humans throughout the entire show, with the most notable being the Queen, the Pirate, and Father Christmas, although we don't even know if we can consider the last one human since he has magical powers. The truth is, humans aren't common in the Peppa Pig world and may even be looked down on. Everyone loves the Queen simply because she's royalty, and Father Christmas because he gives presents, but the civilian human we see the most in the series is a pirate, in other words, a criminal. Mr. Potato is a very famous television presenter. If he is human, he might wear the costume out of fear of being judged. That would be pretty sad, which is probably why the show avoids diving into this topic. But imagine if one day Mr. Potato revealed to everyone that he's human and ended up being accepted instead of criticized. Until something like that happens, we're going to tell you everything about the true identity of Mr. Potato from Peppa Pig.
Stay tuned because another awesome Cinewave is already on.
Robot. As we've already said, many different things could be hiding underneath Mr. Potato's costume, but it might be even more absurd than we first imagined. Seriously, Mr. Potato could actually be a robot, and you're about to see why that makes more sense than it seems. First of all, robots and absurd technologies exist in the Peppa universe. We've already seen a robot dinosaur at George's birthday, and Grandpa Rabbit was able to build a space rocket with moderate ease. Sure, space rockets exist in real life, but your grandpa who likes mechanics isn't going to build one using a few household items. So Peppa Pig's technology is far more advanced because there are several geniuses like Grandpa Rabbit and Edmund Elephant out there. That means nothing is stopping Mr. Potato from being a robot. In fact, that would explain a lot, since Mr. Potato isn't the only talking vegetable in Peppa Pig. There are a few others, and they're all performers who put on shows and movies. Why are practically all the performers in Peppa Pig vegetables, or dressed as vegetables? That's where the answer lies. They're all robots controlled by someone. Our theory? They could have been created by Edmund Elephant, or even Grandpa Rabbit, or both, but they actually obey Miss Rabbit, since the show confirmed that she's the producer of the Super Potato program, and probably of all the other vegetable shows as well, and she's Grandpa Rabbit's granddaughter, so it wouldn't be hard for her to convince him to use his intelligence to build all these robots. Speaking of Super Potato, he's another mysterious character. Besides also being a potato, he has superpowers that aren't common in this show. Super Potato is super strong and can fly, doing it as if it were no big deal. All of this could be explained by him being a more advanced robot than the others. Narrator. Besides Mr. Potato, there are other very mysterious characters in Peppa Pig, and one of them is the show's narrator. As far as we know, he's just a voice that describes what's happening in certain scenes. However, many believe he is actually a person who exists within Peppa's world. And what if, besides existing, he is Mr. Potato? We've never seen the narrator's face. We've only heard his voice. The thing is, the narrator's voice and Mr. Potato's voice are the same because they're both voiced by the same person, John Sparks. Of course, there are other characters in Peppa Pig who share voice actors, but this case is different. Other characters share the same voice but have different bodies, while between these two, only Mr. Potato has ever been seen, so he could very well be narrating the episodes of Peppa Pig in his spare time. Even so, it's unsettling to think about how he manages to see what's happening in the pig family's life even when he's not around. So, what do you think is Mr. Potato's true identity? Comment down below #potato with your answer so we can read it.
Daddy Sheep. Our beloved vegetable presenter has appeared on the show several times, unlike Susie's dad, but that's exactly
likely why he could be Mr. Potato's secret identity. It's never been explained why Daddy Sheep isn't around, but something must have happened. Something that Mummy Sheep doesn't like to talk about. That something was probably a messy divorce that ended with Daddy Sheep leaving town. But what if, after that, he became a TV presenter? In that case, the reason for the potato costume would be completely different from the other theories. Most likely, Mummy Sheep wouldn't let Susie watch her father on TV, so he could be disguising himself so his daughter could still see him without any issues. If this is true, Susie has no idea that Mr. Potato is actually Daddy Sheep in disguise. Daddy Pig. Peppa's dad has always been treated as a joke by the show, sometimes even by his own family. However, there's a theory that would completely change everything we think about him, and that theory says Daddy Pig and Mr. Potato are the same person. Yes, it's entirely possible that the little pig's father is the one who has been inside that potato costume all this time. When we start noticing the details, everything changes. Mr. Potato's show is about healthy eating and physical exercise, which seems to be the opposite of what Daddy Pig likes since he's chubby. But don't be fooled into thinking he's out of shape. Daddy Pig seems to be just pretending not to be healthy, because he already made a massive jump in the episode Champion Daddy Pig. He practically stopped in space with that jump. Only someone extremely fit, with superhuman strength, could pull that off. Meanwhile, in the episode Lost Keys, we see that Daddy Pig has a Mr. Potato keychain. Even though everyone likes the presenter, it's strange that Daddy Pig of all characters has a themed item of him. It could have been Peppa or George, but no, it's Daddy Pig. On top of that, Mr. Potato has already made a comment about Daddy Pig that no sensible TV presenter would ever make. This happens when Peppa sends a drawing she made of Daddy Pig to Mr. Potato, since he receives drawings on his show. And then guess what Mr. Potato said? He made fun of Peppa's dad's belly, saying Daddy Pig needs to exercise. That could have easily led to a lawsuit if Daddy Pig had been offended, but Mr. Potato knew no one would be offended, maybe because they're the same person and that joke was made to distract attention. And we know that Mr. Potato and Daddy Pig have already been in the same place at the same time. However, nothing stops a stand-in from playing Mr. Potato in those moments. Alien.
All the possible identities of Mr. Potato have been pretty shocking, but they're not the only ones, nor the most absurd, because he could definitely be an alien. This idea is even crazier than the robot theory, yet it somehow makes even more sense. Besides being a good reason to hide his real face, since Mr. Potato's alien appearance would probably scare children, there is strong evidence connecting the character to outer space. The main piece of evidence has a name: Super Potato. This guy is an incredible superhero with several superhuman powers, and yes, those abilities could easily be explained by the robot theory, but it's clear that Super Potato is based on Superman. And what is Superman after all? An alien, and he even appeared in a movie called Vegetables in Space. Way too suspicious to be just a coincidence. And if Super Potato is an alien, the same could be true for Mr. Potato and the other vegetables, since they all seem to be connected somehow. Super Potato is just the most powerful, or maybe the others are simply hiding their powers so they don't draw too much attention.
The subscribe button is flashing just for you. Click it and hit the bell right now.
Spy. Even though some of Mr. Potato's possible identities are a bit shocking, none of them are as dark as the idea that he is a spy. The worst part is that it actually starts to make sense the moment we realize that Mr. Potato would be the perfect spy. Think about it. He's always traveling around to visit different cities and put on shows. Even though he draws a lot of attention, it's always positive attention because everyone loves Mr. Potato. No one questions why he's in a certain place, and it's likely that authorized people would allow Mr. Potato to enter restricted areas simply because he's so adored. So it would be perfect for Mr. Potato if he were a spy working for a secret organization or even for another country. And if that plot twist were ever revealed in Peppa Pig, both the characters and we as viewers would be completely caught off guard. Everyone should start paying very close attention to what Mr. Potato is doing when he thinks no one is watching. Vegetable. Despite all these theories trying to explain the truth about Mr. Potato, there's still a chance that he really is exactly what he claims to be, a vegetable. And honestly, we don't even know if that's less strange or if it's actually the most disturbing possibility when it comes to the most famous presenter in Peppa Pig. The world of this show is populated by animals who act like human beings, and that's already strange on its own, but it becomes much more bizarre when we add talking vegetables into the equation, especially because the show hosted by Mr. Potato is specifically about being healthy and eating vegetables. But if Mr. Potato really is a vegetable, is he saying that people people should devour beings of his own kind? And if you think we're exaggerating, even the show plays with this idea, because Mr. Potato talks about several vegetables that kids should eat, until Peppa says potatoes, and that leaves him speechless. Of course, the little pig is referring to normal-sized potatoes, but that doesn't stop Mr. Potato from getting nervous, because the only things that make him different are his size and his 4 human-like limbs. If Mr. Potato doesn't want to be eaten, why doesn't he have a problem with other vegetables being eaten?
The fun continues with just one click. There are 2 videos on the screen waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.